Hi guys, and welcome back to the TNM podcast, episode 2, with me, Tom.
And me, Mark.
Today we're going to be talking about mascots in gaming. But firstly, I think we should find out what a mascot is. Now, normally this is where our good friend, I say friend, our work, I wouldn't even say colleague, probably the guy we hire for kittens.
Well, the fact that we hired him makes him
Staff.
our worker. Staff, yeah.
We normally hand over to staff at this point, but the staff member you will all know and are growing to love from the feedback we're getting.
Love him already.
Stevie Gugal. But unfortunately, Stevie Gugal could not be with us today.
Yes.
But he has a really enthusiastic cousin who wants to step in his place. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, to explain what a mascot is, Roger Gugal.
Roger, come in.
Don't hit him. He's not going to do a good job if you hit him. No Roger Gugals were hurt in the making of this podcast, just so you know. Right, Roger's in the seat. He's in the hot seat.
Hello, my name is Roger, and I like video games and stuff, but I am Stevie's brother. So I'm here today to talk about...
Roger gets confused. He gets really confused.
I'm sorry. I am his cousin.
From overseas.
From Russia. I am here today to talk about mascots. A mascot is a person or a thing that is supposed to bring good luck, especially one linked to a particular organization or event. Commonly used to represent a group with public identity, such as schools, sports team, military units, or brand names. This is very much so with the video games, you know. You have the mascots, the persons or things are supposed to bring good luck.
Whoa,
well, that is about all I've bloody got.
Thank you, Roger.
Thank you for having me.
No problem at all. I think we should get Mark back in the seat rather quickly.
Get out, Rog.
Yeah, Rog. Oh, thanks, Rog. He's left the door open again.
This guy's such an idiot. Right.
Worth pointing out, we'd never spoke to Roger before that and did not know that he had an accent. No idea.
This guy is somehow related to Stevie.
We still don't know. Brother, cousin, you decide.
You said cousin, I'm just thinking that maybe wasn't Roger.
It might not have been. Maybe it was some homeless man that's fallen off the street. He still took off with the Percy Pigs, though, that we paid.
I'm so glad. Yeah, love it. Love it.
Right, so,
oh my God.
Like always, let's rein this back in. Mascots in gaming, Mark. Let's start off with something very, very simple.
Yeah.
When we think about mascots in gaming, so when you and me, if I said to you, mascots in video games, what's the first sort of thing that you think of?
Very obviously Mario, Sonic. I think the 90s is probably what comes straight into my mind.
Yeah, I mean, we're both kind of like similar thought process.
Yeah.
I want to say similar age.
Kind of.
You may have.
I'm 10 years younger than Tom.
He's got a lot of years on me. But we both think of the same kind of thing. We're thinking of your Sonics, your Marios, your Crash Bandicoots, that kind of era in gaming, if you like. I think that is kind of common for most. I would say like your run-of-the-mill gaming audience would all point to those things. Why do you reckon that is?
I think it's quite a contentious issue as to what a mascot is, and I think probably past the 90s it wasn't such a thing. Do you know what I mean? Because you've probably found that in the sort of 2000s and on, it's become less and less a thing. In the 90s, it was like these companies had to have this character that represented them.
Is that because people didn't know what gaming consoles were at the time?
Yeah, and they needed something to hang on with that console. It's like Sonic equals Mega Drive for a lot of people.
Yeah,
you know,
Sega, that's what I will think. All forever think of Sonic as. When I think Sonic, I think of that Sega.
Yeah, you're not going to think
intro.
of Sonic Boom, are you?
No. And the interesting thing is, maybe other generations further down the line now might not have that same connotation because you've got Sonic who.
It's just a character.
He's now a character. He's not essentially a mascot anymore. No, he's kind of retired. He's red running shoe mascot.
I think Nintendo have clung onto it, and Mario is still a mascot.
Oh, massively.
He is the thing that everyone relates Nintendo to, off the bat. And then obviously Link, and then like whatever. Do you know what I mean? Other characters, but Mario. Like even if you introduce all the characters around Mario, Luigi, Donkey Kong, whatever, that Mario character is the one standout that everyone would know. You could show it to little kids, or you could show it to like old people, and they'd all know it. Yeah. Everyone would know who that is, pretty much.
And they would link that straight to Nintendo.
Yeah.
If you had to find a link between Mario and you said, what console is this? Is Mario?
Yeah.
Mario is Nintendo.
Yeah.
Do you think the same goes for Sonic? Still,
well, this is the thing.
Is
for
Sonic
me,
Sega, or is Sonic
for me?
Character?
It is. I think for me, it will always be. Yeah, Sonic is Sega. Sonic is Sega.
Yeah.
But I think that now Sega isn't making hardware anymore. That has now changed, and like we were saying, I don't think people will. If you ask people now who are younger than us by probably, I don't know, 10, maybe more, 10, 15 years younger, they would say to you, oh, Sonic's a Nintendo character.
Yeah.
And I don't think that, unless they've got parents who would be like, no, Sonic came from here and did that.
And I think that the fact that it was a battle in the 90s, I think really... they needed those characters, they needed those mascots for that battle of Sega versus Nintendo. You automatically link Sonic to Sega and Mario to Nintendo. And in the 90s, that was the battle. Like, they were fighting with those characters, you know?
Yeah.
And if you went around to a friend's house that had a Mega Drive, they're going to have Sonic on it. If you went around to a friend's house that's got a Super Nintendo, they're going to have Mario on it in some way, shape or form. And it was like, just... really interesting how so many games came out on those machines.
Well, when you look back,
were all based around those two characters.
Yeah, and well, that's kind of been the way of the mascot games. Is you have games. The main games were always these characters, and then other games would come out, like you said, maybe not even from the same genre or from the same universe as those characters, but they would build other smaller mascot franchises off of them. But also, like you said about those two going and battling it out, I think it was interesting is then when PlayStation came into the mix and they then brought in Crash Bandicoot, and that was a whole thing of even they had thick PR stunts where there's that famous advert of Crash Bandicoot turning up outside Nintendo headquarters and throwing insults at Mario being nothing but a lazy plumber and all this stuff. It was different times back then, granted, but they were used, I think, more in advertising, more in as a focal point for the consoles.
But there were so many after Mario and Sonic, like there's so many mascots, and every console seemed to try and give it a go. Every company tried to give it a go, and that's what was funny. There was one point where the market was littered with bloody mascots
coming out left, right, and
and all of them died a death in some way, shape or form. Do you know what I mean? So that's what it is funny.
So what do you think then? Granted that not every mascot makes it.
Yeah.
What is it that makes them a good mascot? What is it that had... Why did Mario appeal in that time and Sonic? I mean, I've watched... I don't know if you have. I've watched videos on the history of the creation of the characters and the way they started and the way they finished. Well, we know that Mario started as Jumpman originally. He wasn't Mario.
In Donkey Kong.
He then evolved into becoming Mario.
Yeah.
And Sonic started as a very many different concepts trying to be brought together. There's a really, really good YouTube video on the history of Sonic, worth checking out on YouTube from, I think it's GameSpot, and they talk about the different inspirations behind Sonic. They wanted someone that was hip and fast and was like a cooler.
Well, that was the point, and Sega had already tried to do a mascot. They'd already tried to battle Mario by using Alex Kidd.
Yeah.
And that was with the Master System, having Alex Kidd actually built into the console. So as soon as you switch it on, Alex Kidd would come on. They tried desperately with Alex Kidd to make it the mascot that would battle Mario. But as much as retro fans love Alex Kidd, it's a really special character a lot of people love. And Miracle World especially, amazing game. But they tried it. They released like a few different games.
And it just
didn't click with the audience. Like it clicks now with retro fans who love the nostalgia of it. And the fact that they might have bought a Master System and they're like, oh, that was built into my Master System. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they at some point within making a few Alex Kidd games, they were like, this isn't working. We need a mascot.
We need someone
and
else.
That's where Sonic came from. But that's a really interesting one, and it Sonic stuck. You know, it really did. As much as Sega didn't when it came to their console making. The character's still there.
Oh, the character, yeah.
And as much as it's getting worse and worse,
well,
in a lot of ways,
they're trying to do as much damage to him as they possibly can. Poor bloke. I do feel sorry for him.
Terrible. But
especially with that new movie coming out as well. God. Things are not going to get better for him.
It's so bizarre. The funny thing about that is I showed that picture to my son, who's 11, and he looked at it and he went, "Oh, it looks amazing."
Yeah.
And so that straight away tells you the difference between the generations where they're just like, I don't know who that character was. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
And I don't hold any sort of dear feelings towards this character. It's just a character. He's played loads of Sonic games. I've had him playing all the original Sonic games, you know what I mean? But still, he looks at that picture, he's like, looks awesome. So I think we all look at that picture, what the hell is that?
Well, I was looking at, just quickly on this, so I was going on a Twitter feed where an artist had, essentially all they did was they changed the eyes on the new Sonic to the old Sonic eyes that we would know from like the 90s
well,
games.
it's like an M.
Yeah, like quite like the big eyes. And instantly it was like the comments just changed, like, this is amazing. This is incredible. What have you done? He said, I just changed the eyes. It's like there's nothing insane. But it's that like you were saying, it's that fan base who remember it a certain way.
Yeah.
Which is why I think that for most people Sonic is a mascot for Sega, but I don't think will be like that for much longer. I don't think, I think he'll just gradually blend into that crowd around Mario that is Nintendo.
Yeah, it depends if they keep making games for Nintendo, or if Nintendo after a while are like, what's the point? We're not selling many of these games, you know what I mean? Because that could easily happen.
Yeah, could easily happen.
But yeah, what makes a good mascot? Sorry, that was the question.
Yeah, before we got off on the tangent.
It's really difficult to say because there's been so many over the years, but I think each mascot kind of appeals to a certain crowd. So you have someone like Conker, who is a rude squirrel, right? I don't know how much you remember Conker.
Conker's Bad Fur. Yeah, I don't remember playing it or even knowing much about it.
Yeah.
When I was younger, but now in this day and age, I know what Conker is, and I know the whole situation with those games.
Yeah. So I mean, that was in essence, he was a mascot. It's difficult to say, like, but that appeals to a certain crowd. Like people love that kind of stuff. That mainly either teenagers or adults. Him being rude and getting drunk and sort of all that kind of stuff.
They tried to bring him back in the VR. I'm getting a bit of a memory flash here.
Right.
They tried to bring him back for something to do with VR. The people that are listening will know and probably be able to tell us in comments and stuff after they've listened to this. But they tried to bring him back in a really cutesy, nice way. It was bizarre. Yeah, we'll have to look it up later on. You guys will know probably that are listening to this screaming down the the headphones
idiots.
at us, you idiots. But yeah, definitely check that out because it's funny. And that just didn't work because people were getting, like you said, this isn't our Conker.
Yeah, our Conker's rude and obnoxious. Yeah, I mean, it's an odd one with Conker because he was originally just a character in Diddy Kong Racing. That was literally where he came from. And they needed extra characters, you know.
So you think a lot of it's down to the time,
but I think so much of it is down to the era. And the ones that were successful, I think either had really good timing or they were actually a really good game. Do you know what I mean? I think that's the other thing
that's true.
That made a huge difference because Mario, clearly a very good game. He, like all the way back. And then Sonic, all the Sonic games, like the original Sonic games in the 90s, they were really good games, really fun, different, and so that's really important. But the character's got to be likable in some way.
I think it's running theme with a lot of them when you look at them is all in one way or another bright. They're all like quite brightly coloured or colour. Like Mario, you always associate with red. Yeah. Sonic, you'd be like blue straight away. Yeah. When we go further down the line of other mascots, as we come nearer to like this day and age, you notice that there's definite colour. Is something, it's like Conker, bright orange. Even Crash. Crash was that, you bright orangey sort of like look to him. You could pick him out from a crowd. So I definitely think like having a specific, maybe not entirely one colour, but majority of a specific colour is something that you see a lot of in the mascot.
I wonder if there was never Mario.
Yeah.
Right. If there was never Mario until this era, what would this era make of Mario? Considering it's quite racially insensitive towards Italian people, right?
Yeah, and plumbers.
And plumbers, exactly. It's terrible towards plumbers. What would this generation think? Would they take it on the way they take it on because of their parents? You know what I mean? It's the reason these kids play Mario and like Mario is mostly probably because of the parents and they're good games. So would it be the same way? So that's down to the mascot being a product of its generation, a product of its era, and that's why Sonic was the way it was. Sonic was this like it was made for the 90s. Yeah. If you think of the 90s, you think of all things crazy and colourful and energetic, and
everything was getting the internet and everything was going quicker, and that was
that's where Sonic comes in. It's like, oh yeah, it fits perfectly, right? And Mario actually is a product of the 80s, where there was no characters really that were really big, apart from things like Pac-Man that came out and whatever down the line. But that first Mario character just seemed to appeal to people. Oh, this is fun, and they like the games. So
I think it's important what you're saying about the games, though. I mean, the games have got to be.
I've played some terrible games that over the years of mascots, like awful games that were made solely for the purpose of selling a console or trying to sell a console. And then even like the product deals that a lot of these games pulled into them, sponsorship from Coca-Cola and all this kind of stuff. I can't remember. I'm reeling this off, but there's definitely examples of this, but I can't remember them. They're awful games, and they're not memorable.
No.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it definitely makes a massive difference. Yeah.
So we talked about mascots for that generation. As we move forward, obviously the importance of mascots was there and recognised. I think, especially you had PlayStation. Then when Xbox came into the fray, then you had for me Master Chief from Halo, massive mascot for Xbox. Again, big green. You're never gonna forget what Master Chief looks like. Yeah. So that was then to sell the console of the Xbox that time, and again a great game. Halo was amazing.
It helps.
It helps. Halo was an amazing game, and that took off. And they had, I would say, probably for Xbox, when I think of Xbox in terms of a mascot, Master Chief's the main one, and then maybe sort of Gears of War, Gears. Yeah, so they came out with a mascot, and I would have.
Is that a mascot though? I know it's a recognisable character that you link to Xbox.
Well, this is.
But is it a mascot?
Well, this is the thing that I was going to say to you. Is it
because surely, if it was a mascot, the game would have been called Master Chief. It's called Mario, Sonic, whatever. Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Is that the sort of evolution of what mascots were becoming? That it's not. I know that you're saying, but you've got the Master Chief collection now.
Yeah, true.
Like
true.
Literally now, they're like, hey, hang on a minute. It's not the Halo collection, it's the Master Chief collection.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't realise at the time that they were creating themselves a mascot in that, hang on a minute, this is going to be someone who's going to become iconic, fans are going to grab to, and they're going to want to see more games and buy Xboxes to play these games with this character.
And yet you never saw his face.
You never see his face, no. Yeah. It's genius.
It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
It's really ugly under there.
Yeah, it could be anything. It's part of the mystery.
It's actually
the lore is why people like to come back. Just to find out.
Yeah.
But that importance of mascots, is it still a thing today, do you think?
So name me one game that's out now, that's big, that is based around a single character that is massively recognisable. That is literally, the game is called that character. That character is everything to that game. It's difficult.
Well, the only one that I can think of, which is quite good for this, which wasn't very well received, was Knack.
Yeah.
And that launched with the PS4. And I remember watching the conference and then being like, you've got this.
What's the
new
character
IP.
called Knack, though? I never played it.
Character's called Knack.
Right, okay.
Character's called Knack.
Yeah,
Game's called Knack.
Yeah.
And we're going to be, PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah.
You can look at how amazing it is, and again, like that, they were trying to create if they were intentionally trying to create a mascot for selling or pushing that console, but that didn't work.
Yeah.
that was considered, even though the second game, I've played the game.
Yeah.
It was all right in parts, but it was never like you say, it's not a good game. It wasn't a gripping or fun to play game as most games when they launch are.
Yeah.
But the point I was trying to make was that didn't work. PS4 obviously didn't suffer from it. So are they important now, mascots, for new consoles, for driving new things, or has mascots changed? Like for me, I now think more so, looking at like the current climate, current situation, as we were saying, how things are needed or not needed. For me, I look at it in two ways. I think like PlayStation now, or this generation's mascot, has really been, for me, exclusives.
Yeah.
So, and some people say, well, that is a mascot because you're only getting these characters in this game. But more so than that, not just when you talk to people about, oh, hey, why do you want to play on PlayStation over another console? They don't say, oh, because I want to play all of the Tomb Raider only games. Not that Tomb Raider is exclusives anymore.
Yeah.
But they will say, I want to play exclusives, and PlayStation have got all the great exclusives.
Yeah. Like God of War and
Spider-Man, Spider-Man this year. Got God of War. You've got Days Gone coming. Death Stranding. On and on. Horizon.
There's loads.
Yeah, there's loads. And I kind of think that maybe the mascot has gone to one side, and just having the exclusives is in itself the pull at the moment.
But I think in every one of those games you've got a character that is really good and a game that is really good. So you kind of have got the same thing, but you don't need to base the game solely on that character, if that makes sense. So Spider-Man is a good example of that's Marvel's mascot, right? Do you know what I mean? Is Marvel's got tons of mascots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, every single one of those characters is shaped to represent Marvel, I suppose.
Yeah.
But in a video game, I don't know. Look at God of War. Is
Kratos?
Is he the mascot?
See, I don't see.
You'd recognise him a mile off. You'd know exactly what game he's from. But
I wouldn't look at I'd look at Kratos and I'd say God of War. Yeah. I wouldn't look at Kratos and say PlayStation. But like, I wouldn't be my first thought in my head. I would then obviously I would say, it's an exclusive,
and then PlayStation.
Yeah, it's a PlayStation exclusive. But I wouldn't go, PlayStation. I would just say, I would go God of War.
Yeah.
Whereas if you said to me, this generation exclusives, I'd think PlayStation. I wouldn't think. Yeah. I wouldn't think Xbox. I wouldn't even think Nintendo, even though Nintendo, in their own way, has their own
they're all exclusives. Yeah.
But with them, I think they still have the mascot policy.
They do,
still
yeah.
have.
Yeah, massively.
They're still working that 90s.
Well, look at Smash Brothers. It's a game full of mascots.
Yeah.
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 Do you
It's
know what I
literally
mean?
all on. It's mascot brawl.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
exactly. Yeah.
But they quite open with that, and I quite like the idea of looking at how that has, because people will look at this generation and they'll say you had with Wii, or the last few generations with Nintendo, you had the Wii, which blew up.
Yeah.
You had the Wii U, which was classed as a failure in terms of against the Wii.
Yeah.
Now you've got the Switch.
Yeah.
And then the Switch is now
Blown up.
Yeah. That they would. Some people would argue that this generation is now Sony for PlayStation, Nintendo, and then Microsoft have just not thrown in the towel, but they've really not.
Well, they've
just
some
not
weird
got a grip
stuff
on this generation. They've
No.
basically said, this generation, we've lost this. Let's look forward to the future. But what's interesting, I think, just us talking about that, is the way that the two, Nintendo and PlayStation, are both clearly doing something right, but they're both doing it differently. Like
massively.
Nintendo are using mascots in a big way. Their main thing is, hey, look, we've got these characters that are our characters. Here's where you're going to find them, play games that we're going to create for them.
Yeah.
Because off air, we were talking about the fact that a lot of the Wii U games are now coming back on the Switch, and they're selling well on the Switch. They're doing well on the Switch,
and it's stupid because the Wii U had some brilliant games.
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant, and I've got like half the library at home. But yeah, them getting re-released, it pissed me off. It's still pissing me off every time that they re-release a Wii U game on the Switch. I'm like,
that was Smash Brothers.
Oh, you got it.
Was it Smash Brothers U Plus or Ultimate Edition?
But they do this deluxe thing as well, where they just give you all the DLC with the game, and it's like, I go, like Mario Kart. I bought all that DLC. I literally paid for the game.
But why are people?
And then bought all the DLC.
Do people keep coming back and buy it though? Each time.
Well, yeah,
they love it.
And they'll just keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, and kids love they love the characters.
Yeah.
They love the different people that they add, or they with each version of it.
Yeah.
But they have done stuff like, I think they looked at it and they thought, right, well, what can we do? And you look at, they're redoing Link's. So Link has had a massive resurgence. Yeah. And he's Breath of the Wild, massive on the Switch.
Yeah.
Link's Awakening is now coming back. People are going crazy for that.
Yeah.
And these are, I think, the way that they're like using mascots to sort of resurge people's. Oh, hey, yeah, I remember Nintendo. I remember these games were great. We can still generate business using our old methods. Whereas PlayStation are like, at the moment, we don't need mascots. We just need great games. Yeah, like we're going to have exclusive games you can't get anywhere else.
All these new IPs.
People will come to play these games, and I look at Microsoft and I think, have you missed a beat here? Because you've kind of not done either. You've not gotten new exclusives, new IP at all, and at the same time, when it's come to your flagship people like your Master Chiefs, your Gears of War, when they announced new Gears 5 coming, it was like, there wasn't like an overwhelming boom for it. People were like, oh, it looks all right, it's okay.
I think it feels like with Gears, didn't they? See, I've kind of dipped in and out of Gears. I've never really got massively into it. But didn't they kill off one of the main characters? And then
they killed off a couple. I think.
A couple of main characters, and they were like the ones that you remember. I'm sure one of them was literally for me, the face of Gears, and I can't remember what his name was, but that might have been a massive mistake, really.
Well, but that goes back to the whole mascot thing. It's like you think these people they're not important, but actually they're the pull that gets people to come back. And I think that they may have missed exactly the same thing with Halo. With when you look at the with Master Chief, they tried to move away from Master Chief with the Halo series, bring in new characters like new Spartan characters, and it just fans just felt like they'd lost what Halo was about. It was about Master Chief.
That kind of reminds me of Metal Gear Solid as well. You remember they went through this weird period of Metal Gear Solid when they brought out this, I can't remember what it's called, one of the Metal Gear Solids where he had a big sword and you
Oh, Raiden.
Yeah.
So that
like that for me, I don't really know the backstory, but I was like, what the hell is this? That's not Snake. Like, this isn't Metal Gear Solid.
That was when they sold. Originally, that was what happened with the Metal Gear Solid 2, when they sold it as you were going to play as Snake.
Yeah.
And then within about, I can't remember exactly, but within half an hour, Snake was no more a playable character, and you played as Raiden for the 90% of the game. But again, that was a character that people really liked and they enjoyed that character. Obviously, then Snake came back and took over the franchise and carried on. And Raiden had, like you were saying, spin-off games and other bizarre appearances and stuff. But yeah, I think that sometimes that's what my original point was, that Microsoft have just missed so many beats with that. They could have, if they just focused on creating another great Master Chief focused Halo game or a Gears of War with the original cast, could they have retained some of that traction and kept things going during this generation? I don't know. It's just one of those things that, because we were talking about Mascots, kind of got me thinking about.
I think maybe people.
It.
I just think maybe people have almost wised up a little bit when it comes to games. It almost feels like you've got to make a really good game these days for it to be a top seller. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A really bloody good game. And you think of like Red Dead Redemption, for example, like the amount of effort that went into making that game and how massive was that game and how amazing was it. You have to do a lot, do you know what I mean, to sort of convince people this game's worth playing. You don't really see that kind of simple, here's a great character, here's him in a platform game, do you know what I mean? Here's him in a really simple game. You just don't really see it anymore. There's this whole massive scaled game built around a bunch of characters, and some of them are quite interesting and some of them really pull you in, but it doesn't feel that same way. They would literally make a game based around a character and that was it.
Do you reckon that part of that's played into the development of, if you look at the scope of who your average age of gamers is now? So like, I'm just thinking sort of like off pieced a little bit, but back in the 90s or 80s, 90s, as gaming was in its sort of infancy, the main audience probably would have been more kids.
Yeah.
And now those kids we're now where we are today.
Yeah.
I think the average age of a gamer is now between 28 and 42, something like that. That's like the main bulk of who makes up the gaming buy-in and playing games, from surveys and stuff that they've done. So those games have obviously grown up, so they don't particularly need the mascot. They've got the nostalgia. They remember a mascot. So if you throw an old mascot at them, it's going to work. Yeah. But you throw someone new at them, they're like, I don't need this. I'm not a kid.
Yeah.
Like my kids love, well, as in not mine. I don't have any that I know of, but they're thinking the kids that they've got will be fine playing with the mascots that they love because they can introduce them. So is it becoming more like you were saying, that the way originally we were talking about big bright colours, and now it's more complex characters or storylines because of the age group of your average gamer? That's something they probably consider.
Yeah, and I suppose you've got less cartoony games as well now. It's kind of, there's a lot more realism in games, and they become less about being some over-exaggerated character that's bold and bright and colourful and whatever, to being a regular person or some kind of... Do you know what I mean? It's less about going nuts and trying to make something that's memorable. Yeah. In that way, it's more like we'll make their storyline, their backstory, and their what they go through and their emotions and everything
like relatable,
deeper. So much deeper. Yeah. Whereas like you get Donkey Kong.
how do I relate to this ape in a tie?
What's it? Yeah, who's stolen a princess, and I've got to try and run up there and get her back. Like, if you presented that in a realistic way now, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? So it's I do feel like so much of it is to do with it being a product of its time, massively. But it's different now. We've got characters that we know and love.
Yeah.
Rather than thinking of them as mascots. And like you say, exclusives, that God of War is a great example where I feel like they were trying to do that with the kid. They were trying to make the kid the likeable aspect of that game.
Who's going to take on after
Kratos? Yeah. And so they're almost there's evolution happening in there, and that's really forward thinking. But I
think that would suffer.
What if it was just based around the kid?
100%, yeah.
Stupid kid.
But I think in the same way that I genuinely think that, the Halo franchise suffers taking it away from Master Chief. Yeah, could you imagine? Now that I would play.
Little mini Master Chief.
Jesus, that would be an amazing game. Mini Master Chief. But that, I think it would. I think you'd see if all of a sudden people thought, hang on a minute, Kratos is slipping away into the background a bit more, and then I think people would be like, hang on, no, we still want...
I need him.
Yeah, I still want that. I still need that as part look at Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
That's now Devil May Cry 5.
5 just for release, isn't it?
But when they moved away from Dante being in the games altogether, the audience, the fan base went nuts, because it's not what they don't.
What the hell is that?
Yeah, people don't want you to move away from these characters that they've invested years in enjoying.
Or grew up with.
Either create a new IP,
yeah,
which I think we'll see a lot more from, the likes of Horizon Zero Dawn and stuff like that, where people I don't want to butcher a name because it's been a while since I played through it. I want to say Olé, but that sounds like
Olé.
That sounds a Spanish thing. It
fine.
It isn't at all, and I apologise to anyone that's listening. It's been a very long and tiring day. That is going to bug me. But yeah, I think you'll see them looking at new IP and then being like, okay, right, that's a cool new character. We can carry this on for however many games, but stick with what draws the people in originally.
Yeah.
Interesting to see what they do with The Last of Us as well. Last of Us 2 regarding that with Ellie and Joel.
Well, everyone loves Joel, right? Everyone loves Ellie as well. It's kind of, you have to have those two characters in there.
That's the one contradictory point I would make, is if they killed off Joel and said it's just about growing up Ellie now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be that bothered.
No, true. I don't know.
I don't know why.
I was bothered. I'm not gonna. No spoilers.
There's no spoilers.
No spoilers, but yeah. I was bothered.
Anyway, let's not spoil any games for anyone that's listening.
Getting emotional here. So yeah, I think going back to the original point, are they important today? I feel like good characters are important today, but not necessarily the traditional mascot.
Yeah.
I think we've definitely veered away from that in the last 10, 15 years. Massively.
Consoles sell themselves,
Sonic's not the same. Mario had credit to Nintendo, absolute credit to them, with all their characters, like all these mascots that they had in the 90s. They have carried them all on, pretty much, the ones that did well.
Yeah.
And they're still going strong. Like, you look at Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, Mario, Luigi, all these characters in every single Mario Kart game and every Smash Brothers game, and Kirby is another one.
Kirby.
There's so many in the Nintendo world. It's just full of individual mascots. Like they're as much as Mario's their one big mascot. Yeah. All these other characters, you could put that on any other console and you could make a console out of it. Do you know what I mean? They're that good. So massive credit to Nintendo for that. Like they've kept all these characters going.
They are the official mascot masters, aren't they? They really are.
They really know how to make them. Yeah. What I'd like to do is give you some mascots and then you tell me if you remember them.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, does that sound alright?
Within my age, because we've already established
not that far apart, Tom.
So much younger than Mark.
Alright, I'm going to give you some characters. You tell me if you remember them.
Okay, go.
And what you remember about them. Okay, Chuck Rock.
No.
Oh, That's such a
I feel like
shame.
I should, but I can't think of it.
Cool Spot.
Oh, Cool Spot, yes.
Yes.
All day I remember Cool Spot.
With the sunglasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it. James Pond.
Yes. Yellow?
No.
No, frog.
It's a fish.
Fish. Ah, damn it. No. It's not the one I'm thinking of then. It's not the same one I had in my
It was
head.
a fish, and then you got different outfits.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be like a take on James Bond. It was like a spy fish.
It's not the one I'm picturing. I'm picturing someone else.
It's a fish standing up, basically, with
I'd remember that.
half a tuxedo on. It's got a little bow tie and everything. You'd love it.
I'll
Look up
him
James
up.
Bond
Yeah,
after this. All right, where are the other ones? Okay, Gex.
Yes, the lizard.
Yes. There you go. Yeah. That was a decent one actually.
I don't know if I even played it, but I remember. I can remember the box art.
Pretty well known. Zool.
Oh yes, Zool. I do remember Zool. Again, I'm trying to for those of you who obviously can't see this, I'm staring off into the distance.
Yeah.
While I'm trying to recall memories from a long, long time ago.
Yeah. All right, I got another one.
Was Zool like a black with red?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a little ninja.
Yeah.
From the nth ninja of the nth dimension. I love Zool. I swear Zool had some advertising in it. I swear that had some weird. But there was sweets all over the levels.
Wasn't Cool Spot
it might have been Cool Spot
was
that
he
was
7 Up or?
Yeah, no, he was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Cool Spot represented 7 Up. The spot in 7 Up.
There you go. Classic mascot in there from Cool Spot.
I think he was actually in the adverts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very random. Very good knowledge. Well, kind of.
Absolutely useless knowledge.
All right. I think this is my last one for now.
Good, because I'm doing okay.
You're doing all right.
I should have out in Cool Spot.
Croc.
Yeah, crocodile.
Yeah.
Even
The story of Croc's great though. It's really good. So Croc was originally made or developed for the Super Nintendo, and it was a 3D platformer starring Yoshi from Super Mario World.
Oh right.
Yeah. However, when Nintendo rejected the game, the developers at Argonaut Games changed Yoshi from a lovable dinosaur into a lovable crocodile named Croc.
There you go. So it could have been Yoshi.
It was going to be Yoshi, yeah. Argonaut then pitched the mascot to Sony, who loved the gameplay and released it for the original PlayStation in 1997. So Croc was originally going to be Yoshi.
Very, very interesting.
I hope that's true.
Well, I hope so. If not,
I really hope that's true because that was great. I really like that.
Just a quick thing. Did you know Sonic didn't first appear in Sonic? Oh.
Sonic? What did Sonic
Sonic the Hedgehog first appeared as a keyring hanging off of a review.
Oh, in Outrun. Yeah.
There you go.
That wasn't first?
It wasn't, maybe not Outrun. It
Sonic.
Was, honestly. It was, Sonic the Hedgehog.
No, Daytona.
Again, you guys will know.
Sonic came before Daytona.
Alright, we'll continue this off after we record it and you guys can have a look in the comments. Sonic the Hedgehog did not first appear in Sonic the Hedgehog.
I am not convinced of that.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the first Sonic that came out on the Mega Drive and the Master System pretty much at the same time. You got me thinking now.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, we need to put a wager on that.
I'm not 100%. Right. I think that's literally all the ones I got. So I think that was quite a good little list there.
I loved it.
Yeah,
I absolutely loved it. I think you should do that more often. Come at me with some.
I'll actually bring some. Yeah. I'll do that. Definitely.
That.
But no, there you go.
Okay, so should we move to the community answer to the community questions?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
So obviously we were recording first episode, and we asked you guys to let us know who your favourite mascots were and why. So we won't read all of them out because there's a lot, but we've selected a few just for
thousands.
The thousands.
So many.
Also, it's a good time for us to say thank you massively to everyone who did listen on Spotify, on iTunes.
Yeah.
We will be pushing it out to other services possibly
sure?
in the future. I don't know.
I pushed it out to every service I can imagine.
Maybe we have to do it in Russian for Roger.
The only thing I haven't done is upload to YouTube in any way.
Okay.
So I think later down the line,
Maybe
we'll come back onto that because
Yeah.
that makes it open to everyone.
If we keep
But,
getting the 4 of you listening that like to listen to
No
this,
doubt.
then maybe we'll develop it and do some other stuff with it. But let me go read through these quickly. So Oggy has written and said, I'd say Lara Croft. She was the first character I remember in an adventure game that was unlike any other I had played before. I lost days to Tomb Raider. Everyone lost days to Tomb Raider. That was a confusing game.
Yeah, it was. And I think the real key thing about Lara Croft is there wasn't really many strong female characters that especially heading up a game, were the main character. And so that brought many different types of people into gaming that maybe wouldn't have done before. So, yeah.
Sparkrat says, James Pond.
James Pond, there you go.
Hey, I know James Pond. Standing up fish, right?
You definitely know James Pond now. Standing up fish with a tuxedo. Half a tuxedo.
Half a tuxedo. It's important to get the half.
I might actually have a bit of James Pond knowledge here.
Oh, okay. Well, Sparkrat
come back on that.
Well, do you want to... Sparkrat says James Pond is better than all mascots. Do you want to give Sparkrat
better than all mascots?
Better than
I love it.
Mascots.
I love it.
Do you want to hit him with a bit of James Pond?
Yeah, I mean, it was actually an EA game. It was published by EA, which is funny. So you wouldn't have thought of a standing up fish coming from EA.
Yeah.
So it was a joint venture. Millennium Interactive and EA published it, and then the developers were Vectordine. But it was featured in a load of comic books, and then there was 3 sequels and a spin-off game. So there was quite a few games.
Really?
I originally had it on the Amiga 500.
Comic books as well?
Yeah. Of a standing up fish.
I need to see the pictures of that.
And you know what's great about James Pond is you could pick up different outfits.
I feel like you love James Pond could be your favourite mascot.
I loved James Pond. I don't know why. I think I very, very early on played it on the Amiga, and I was like, this is hilarious. I'm a fish, and I was running around shooting people. So yeah, it's good. It's definitely worth looking up.
Awesome. We move on to Tesla FC. Says it was Sonic until I saw that image from the movie, which we've covered quite enough. I think
I've learned to disassociate all the crap that Sega have decided to do over the years.
Yeah.
With weird things like Sonic Boom and turning Sonic into a teenager and all this stupid stuff. Ignore it.
You never change our Sonic.
Ignore it.
You never change our Sonic from back
exactly,
in the day.
and that's why I love Sonic Mania. Sonic Mania was a
Incredible
great game.
Really, really.
And they really smashed it. They made it work for today.
Yeah.
So yeah, Sonic, great.
Using the gameplay of yesteryear.
Yesteryear.
That's a good one. I like that. I have to remember that. Ibsy has written in and said it has to be the humble companion cube from Portal.
Companion cube. Okay.
I'll make a.
Is that a mascot?
I'll make a statement here. I haven't played Portal.
Really?
Yeah, I know that's gonna.
You should play Portal.
I know. I've been told I should play Portal.
I only played it for the first time. I'll be brutally honest. About
please do.
4 or 5 years ago.
Oh,
for
right.
the first time. Never played it when I was young, and it's a great game.
It's going on the list.
There's a lot of puzzle stuff in there.
Yeah.
So if you like that kind of stuff, like you have to put portals in certain
physics
places to make stuff work, and
yeah.
But I don't know if you could call a cube a mascot.
Ibsy has, and
Ibsy.
I'm not going to tell one of our 4 listeners that they're wrong. So make of that what you want, Mark. Really.
I mean, it is the one thing that stands out in Portal, apart from the portals.
Exactly.
Actually, is the portal not the mascot?
No, I haven't played it, so when I find out,
it's a
I'll
hole.
let you know.
It's a hole.
Oh,
yeah.
well.
You put a hole here and a hole there, and you could throw stuff through that hole, and it come out here.
Uh-huh.
That's what a portal is.
Excellent. Tim Paulin has written in to say Luigi. And then I'm not sure if Tim is actually really Luigi, who is unleashing all the hatred of his brother, who he has been in the shadow of for a long time. But he then goes on to say, Mario is fat, short, slow, and evil. Luigi is none of those. He is fast, agile, and can keep and can leap over everyone else's head.
Yeah.
He is awesome in every game he is in.
He actually is awesome
I always
in every
pick
game.
Luigi. I'll be honest,
think of Luigi's Mansion,
Yeah.
amazing game, and there's even an arcade game of it now with a physical Hoover.
Yes, I've seen that.
Which I played and I was just blown away by. You think of Mario
you got a sequel
Kart.
coming to that now as well. Luigi's Mansion 2.
Yes, no, Luigi's Mansion 2 was already.
What's the latest one?
On the 3DS.
They're
They're going to do a Switch version, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. But
I
what's
think
it called?
they might be releasing Luigi's Mansion 2 on the Switch.
Right,
I think
okay, gotcha.
Yeah. But, and then you think of him in all the other games like Mario Bros 2, where his special power was that he could jump higher.
I think that's what Tim's alluding to. Yeah.
Very, very good. Very good show.
I always pick him. If there's a choice between Mario and Luigi, I will always pick Luigi.
And one of my favourite memes of recent times was
the Mario Kart.
The slow down Luigi Mario Kart.
So good.
Amazing.
That evil death stare that he gives. Classic. And then we've got George WMF has written in it and said Master Chief.
Yeah,
quoting,
agrees with you.
And he's got us a quote here from Urban Dictionary.
Nice.
He is so badass that he just has to walk on screen and you can feel the badassness radiating from his badass aura.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. See, I was never an Xbox person, ever.
Yeah.
And so the whole Halo thing just skipped me by completely. Do you know what I mean? I was sitting there playing GoldenEye on the N64.
I played GoldenEye on the N64.
For about 10 years I played it.
I was going to say, that's a very big gap.
Yeah.
But I also got the joy to play, and it was I could go off on a little bit of a tangent of a story that may bore listeners.
Do it. Don't make it too long.
I won't make it too long. That Halo, for me, was Christmas.
Yeah.
And my dad at the time refused to get me anything more gaming related. And I'm quite stubborn, but I was not so much now. I was very stubborn. My dad is very stubborn. And I saved up enough money to then go to a shop, buy it, put it wrapped it, had it for a week. I wrapped it, put it under the Christmas tree, wrote on it, "To Tom from Tom, you deserve this."
Yeah.
Opened it on Christmas Day, plugged it into the family TV on the downstairs. And
wait, how old were you?
I was probably about 18.
This was a few weeks ago, right?
Yeah, it's probably about
years ago.
I must have been about 17, 18 at the time. I can't remember. Plugged it into the TV downstairs, and then that music that everyone knows, that Halo music kicked in. Yeah. Unbelievable day! What a day that was! One of the best decisions I've ever made.
You made that day for yourself,
that day.
100%.
But thank you so much to everyone who has taken the time to write in for this episode. We will be asking another question for next episode for you guys to write into. Yes. Should we mention what we're going to be talking about?
Yeah,
on
absolutely.
Next episode?
Yeah.
So I'll let you. I read those out, Mark. So if you want to say.
So in the next episode, we are going to be focusing on expos. So gaming expos specifically. So things like Rezzed, things like EGX. So these are gaming events where the thing is, expos are a bit mixed. So you can have an expo that is all about new games, or you can have an expo that's a mixture of new games, old games. It's just celebrating games, I suppose.
Yeah,
it's
the
gathering.
Key to it.
Gathering of gamers, playing games. Something like EGX, you're getting to play new games, you know. But Play Expo was all like retro games.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're all a little bit different in their own way. But that's what I love about these expos. So
you mentioned Rezzed. We all will be at Rezzed.
Fingers crossed.
Oh,
you're going to be at Rezzed.
I'll be at Rezzed. I'll be there for all 3 days.
Fingers crossed I'll get to go.
So if you are listening to this and you are going, be sure to just if you see me, say hi. You obviously know what I sound like, so if you hear me say hi.
I mean, but they could be thinking it's Stevie Google.
Yeah,
that's the only.
Please don't confuse you with Stevie Google. It's so embarrassing.
Stevie's such an idiot.
Oh, he's such an idiot. You'll definitely see me if you're going. Yeah. You may see Mark. So let us know if you are going to be going. You can let us know on Twitter. We're now on the Twitters.
On the Twitters.
The T&M Pod. At the T&M Pod.
T&M Pod, yeah.
On Twitter, so make sure you follow us on there and let us know if you guys are going. But we'll be talking about expos. Yeah. So the community questions will be have you ever been to an expo? If so, what expo? And give us one of your best expo experiences.
Yeah.
We'll obviously be talking about our best expo experiences in the next episode.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be Rezzed.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Could be.
So we'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to hear what you think of expos. What are your experiences? Absolutely, that would be awesome. And then we'll read them out at the end of the show, like today. So thank you to the guys that did write into us. We will do it all again next time.
Yeah, next time.
Yes. So that's about it. I think we're done.
Yeah,
I think we've covered everything.
Episode, yeah.
Everything you could ever think about when it comes to mascots.
So much to talk about mascots.
Wait, before we go.
Oh.
Who is your favourite mascot?
I'm gonna stick up for Sonic.
Sonic.
Yes.
Nice.
I think. Yeah, I'm gonna stick up for him. I can remember running around the playground as a kid, zooming,
doing roly
polies into things,
into the wall.
Yeah, I'll stick up for Sonic. I think he's one of our old mascots who's had a lot of punches to the gut over the last sort of 10, 15 years.
Yes.
So yeah, I'll go Sonic. I know what you're gonna say.
Who am I gonna say? James Pond.
James Pond. On that note, guys, we'll say goodbye. I've been Tom.
I've been Mark,
and we'll catch you on the next one. See you later.